It's a pretty solid month, actually, for the Xbox Live Games of Gold for February 2017. 2 games for the Xbox One, 2 games for Xbox 360. First up, available from the 1st to the 28th of February for Xbox One, is Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. Thanks very much to Paul Copeland for the footage, which you can see on your screen right now. $15 normally from the store. This was originally released in September 2015. Scored an Open critic average of 82%, 76% in terms of user ratings. This is a 2-player, or indeed 1-player plus AI, local co-op game where you fly a round pink spaceship in a pixel art 2D plane, avoiding environmental hazards and taking on enemies. Now, the two of you running around... Say again?
I'd never heard of this game.
I had heard of it, yeah. I remember I read a review of this in the magazine that I read, and I think I saw it on one of those crappy TV programmes as well. It's one of those games that's a sort of really interesting idea, because it's... I mean, although you can play it with the AI, it has been criticised. A lot of people have said that it's not that brilliant when playing it on your own. It's one of those games that's apparently it's a lot of fun when you've got a second person there with you and you're both sort of frantically running around the ship, because you have to take on all the different ship systems. You see you can move that shield thing around, and you've got to move the ship itself, and you've got to fire the weapons and all that. And I mean, I'd be tempted to try that in local co-op, actually.
Yeah, it looks quite interesting.
But guess what? It's too hard. We don't see that with an indie game very often, do we?
Not at all, no.
So moving on, available from the 16th of February to the 15th of March is Project Cars Digital Edition. Well, obviously it's not going to be the physical edition, is it? Bill Gates will be handing out discs to every member. Thank you to Tiamat Mart UK for the video footage here. This is $30 normally on the store. May 2015 this was originally released. Got an Open Critic average of 80%. Only 58% in terms of user ratings.
That's really strange. I really like this game. I mean, it's probably one of the best racing games to come out in a long time, I'd say.
This is the thing. I mean, I'm a sort of casual racer fan, I suppose. I'm not the most hardcore of racer fans. I actually really, really enjoyed this when I played this on the PC. It was well optimised for the PC. Obviously, this is going to be the Xbox One version. I'm going to talk specifically about that in a moment. But what I really liked about this game is the fact... Now, I like arcade racing games. Now, even though this is basically supposed to be a more realistic kind of racer, when you switch on all the aids and assists, this actually plays far more like an arcade racer than supposedly arcade-focused racing games, such as Drive Club, for example. Well, that was my experience of it anyway. This is by British developers Slightly Mad Studios. They previously made Need for Speed Shift for EA. They basically produced this love letter to racing. There's 74 cars here, 30 locations, 110 courses, of which 23 have real-life counterparts. Now, as I mentioned, we played the PC version, which was really well optimised. It looked great.
It really was, yeah.
It's one of those games, actually, that you crack out to sort of show off your hardware, isn't it? But or is that just me? I did say there are issues with the Bone version. Basically, it is the worst of the 3 main versions, because it's obviously available for the PC and the PS4 as well. This one only runs at 900p, whereas the PS4 and PC versions, well, the PS4 version runs at 1080p. The PC, the sky's the limit. And it does suffer from frame dips as well. There were reportedly control issues upon release. This may have been fixed. I don't know. I haven't played the Xbone version, so maybe someone who has can clarify in the comments below. But that may explain why it's got such a kicking in terms of user ratings.
Now, I know when it came out on all that adverts and stuff, it was all showing the Sony stuff. So I know it had a slight deal with Sony, didn't they, upon release?
Oh, I don't remember. I mean, I know that was the case with Drive Club, so that was obviously a platform exclusive, but I don't know, maybe they had a DLC deal with them or something, I don't recall.
Yeah, so that's what I thought they had, something like that. I might be wrong. I thought it was some deal along those lines.
Well, let's have a look at the Xbox 360. The first game, this is going to be available from the... Oh, by the way, Project Cars is available from the 16th of February until the 15th of March. I don't think I mentioned that. Right, available from the 1st until the 15th of February on Xbox 360 is The Secret of Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge Special Edition. Thanks to
World... Nice to...
Go on.
It's really nice to see this, because we saw the first one in November, was it?
Yeah, it was November 2016. The first Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition was included with Games of Gold. Thanks, by the way, to World of Long Plays for this video footage.
It's definitely nice to see that they're putting a few of them out there, that it wasn't just a one-off to try and get people to buy for sequels.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is actually quite long. Even the special edition actually is getting on a bit now. This is $10 normally on the store. July 2010, would you believe, this was originally released, because this and Monkey Island were obviously the first 2 remasterings that Tim Schafer did. It's got a Metacritic, it's not on OpenCritic, so it's a Metacritic average of 85% and 87% in terms of user ratings. The original Secret of Monkey Island 2, by the way, was released in December 1991 for the PC and the Amiga. Yeah, that's before you were born.
It makes you feel old, yeah.
It does, everything makes me feel old, but that particular... I remember playing this through. I played the Amiga version. I have to say the Amiga version did chug a little. It was really optimised for the PC, and they kind of half-assed the Amiga version, but it was still playable, and I remember playing this through with my brother, and we just had a whale of a time with it, just like the first one, really. How would you make a sequel to a cast iron classic? I mean, well, the original developers, including Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer, simply made another classic. It's still a point-and-click adventure from the LucasArts Golden Age, where you control pirate wannabe Guybrush Threepwood, facing off against the ghost pirate LeChuck. This game is just as funny as the first. It's even more expansive. The updated art isn't quite as awful as that in the original mastering. If you saw our video back in November, you'd have heard my views on the remastered art from the original. They did fix it slightly. It's still not fantastic, but I mean, it's better than the job they did with the first game. I assume they listened to the backlash. Controlling the game with a control pad, of course, isn't nearly as intuitive as using a mouse. And the child version of me didn't like the crazy ending back in the day. I don't know what I'd think to it now. I'm an adult, but I don't know. I still remember it, so I guess that says something. And that's a bloody long time ago.
You don't remember much?
I don't remember much. No, most games I play and they just go, but this one I do remember. You should definitely give this a try after you finish the first, of course, assuming that you were a Games with Gold member back in November. Anyway, last up, also for the Xbox 360 and available from the 16th to the 28th of February. It's just is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Thank you to Clement J64 for the footage that you are now seeing on the screen. This is $20 on the store normally. September 2008 this was originally released. Really old game, actually.
Yeah, it's older than you'd think.
I remember, actually, you had this for either your birthday or Christmas one year. I think you actually had the 360 version as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a 360 version, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was optimised well for 360 and played well. Well,
yeah,
you know, played well as well as it could, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, most multi-platform games back in the 360 PS3 era did run better back on the 360 back then. Yeah, I remember particularly that you got this for your birthday / Christmas because I actually tested it out the night before on my own 360, which I don't believe you knew until this moment. Metacritic gave this 73% on average, only 67% in terms of user ratings. It's a third-person arcade shooter, casting you in the role of Darth Vader's dickhead apprentice. This is obviously the prologue where you get to play Darth Vader. Sadly, it's not representative of the rest of the game. You play some crop-haired twat.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a... I didn't warm to him, let's put it that way.
No.
Like Rogue One, it's set between episodes 3 and 4 of the film
it's not
franchise.
Canon anymore, obviously.
No longer canon, yeah. And unlike Rogue One, it's a massive letdown. While the Force powers are indeed fun, the game fails to capitalise on their potential with
and
what
it
is...
becomes way too repetitive as well.
Yeah, that's quite true, actually. Once you've sort of had a play with the Force power. In fact, having this Darth Vader bit right at the very beginning was a bit of a bad move.
Almost ruined the rest of the game.
This is the thing, because you play this and you think, oh wow, I'm really in for a treat, and then you get to control his dick apprentice, and you just think, no, can't I just have Darth Vader back? You know, why am I controlling this guy again? So, okay, it's a pretty good month this month. I've got to say, I know this is something we say a lot with Games of Gold. It's something we very rarely say with PlayStation Plus these days. What's your pick of the month?
It's got to be Project Cars.
Yeah, I agree. It's Project Cars for the bone. Really, really great racing game. It's got something for everyone. I must admit, I don't know whether it still has the technical issues that it clearly had upon release. So maybe that's someone in the comments can tell us. But also, I would like to just give an honourable mention for the Secret of Monkey Island 2 for the Xbox 360. Found absolutely superb game, especially if you've played the first one. If not, go back to your downloads, get that first one downloaded and played because it's great. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. Lots more at parallaxlive.com. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That helps us out. Thanks ever so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video.